Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the atom structure of our world around us, and today we will just talk about real civilizational roots of modern Russian state, because especially in the Western countries there is this romanticized myth that there is a huge Russian culture, incredible contribution to the world, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, but we have to see that when we take into account the large population of this country, the vast territories it occupied for centuries and exploit, we compare what their representatives of culture, writers, musicians were creating, we see that in most cases these achievements in culture or science are not so huge if we take into account the potential we see, I mean the population and lands they occupy, and that we see that many of Russian inventors were actually not really educated there. And the funny thing is that the roots of Russian civilization currently we have now are not in Byzantine Empire. Yeah, they got baptized by Byzantine envoys and missionaries. The baptism of Volodymyr 988, we all know it. So the roots of religion and liturgy, to a large extent, yes, are Byzantine. But the type of civilization you have there, type of treatment of people, type of managing the state, is completely Turan from the steppe. Because even before Mongol conquest in 13th century, Russian states, because after the death of Yaroslav the Wise in 1054, there is a decomposition of the Rus of the medieval Rus into many dukedoms, one should say, and these dukedoms later are divided and are not able to resist in an efficient way the Mongols invaders, who were very well organized and great warriors. That is why we have since 13th century huge influence of the steppe Turan statehood, and actually Russian dukedoms were part of it for long. And we see that since the end of 14th century through 14th since the end of 14th century through 15th and beginning of 16th, Russia is slowly getting its independence from the Khans, so leaders of the Mongolian states, and since 1550s, Ivan the Terrible starts conquering them quite quickly and expands its empire into the east. Yes, because there was not so much possibility of expansion those days to the west, because Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was too well organized and too strong. That is why Muscovy, the principality then, if we want to keep the formal name of the country, was expanding to the east. Yes. And what can we expect if they were expanding also incorporating another set of nations that were used to Turan way of managing the things and leadership? Of course. And nowadays Russia is also like steppe country, warlike state that has really huge problems with modernizing itself. Everything belongs to the leader. There is no freedom in terms of individual population is treated as something, I would say, collective. The one needs to say that a government has very ambivalent approach towards religious affairs, and also very often towards national affairs as well. We see that, of course, Russian language, Russian culture dominates, because it's the most numerous one, and it was promoted just to zip this conglomerate of nations somehow. But we see that like Russian nationalism, especially ethno-nationalism, is suppressed by current government. Why? Because about 1/4 of the population is completely of modern Russia non-European, so it would such ethnic nationalism would induce separatism. That is why we see that this uh, ambivalent approach towards religion, and religion is also dependent, religious leaders are dependent on the state leaders. It was always like this there, and relatively ambivalent approach towards the nationality shows us that that Russia is in the straight line, the descendants of steppe Mongolian empire and following Khaganates that followed the decomposition of the Mongol empire of Genghis Khan and his successors. All the best, have a nice day, bye.